What's up guys, Braden here with SuperATV, and today we're going to be showing you how to install SuperATV's flip windshield on this Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT. So this is going to fit all of the 2015 plus Mule Pro FXTs. So let's get right to it. So first thing we're going to do is grab our lower windshield and grab our bulb seal. We're going to install this bulb seal to this lower edge. We're going to start right here on this corner, run it all the way around to the opposite side, then cut off the excess. So as you see, you're going to see us use a air hammer here. You guys can absolutely do this. There's no reason that you can't. You're not going to hurt the windshield. You're not going to tear up the seal. Just if you are using this, be careful. Obviously you don't want to get out of control with it. If you're going to use like a dead blow hammer, that's fine as well. Just always be careful. So once we get to this point here, what I like to do, flip it over here so you guys can see it a little better, lay the bulb seal up about where it needs to be. We're just gonna make a cut right where it needs to be cut off at. It makes it easier to install it, especially at this little bend. So just make sure your cut's good and straight. I like to kind of open the bulb seal up. You can roll it to the opposite side. So now that we've cut it the length, we're just going to go ahead and install it all the way up to that edge. Just like so. So now what you're going to do is remove the hardware out of the clamps. We've already done this. And then we're going to lay our windshield onto the cage of the machine, making sure that our clamps wrap around the cage. So what I like to do is once we kind of have it somewhat in position, we'll take the hardware that we previously removed with a 4mm Allen. I like to use a socket. It just helps get it started into the threads. It gives you something to kind of help push too when you're doing this. It is a tight fit. So like I said, I do recommend using a socket whenever you're installing the hardware into the clamp. Then just kind of push against it. Same thing for this side over here. Again, we're just getting the hardware started in our clamps there. I like to just run them up until it's snug. Then just go ahead and peel your protective film from both sides. Then we're going to install our gasket along this lip. So just line it up. We're just going to run it all the way across. Once we get to this point here, you can just take a blade, cut it right off. Just like so. So what we did here, I had to have some help to get it installed. You will need help as well to get the windshield installed, the upper portion. But again, take all your hardware out of your clamps before you install the windshield. Other than that, there's no prep work on this one. It's pretty well ready to go for you. So once we have it on the cage, we're gonna try to lip it to where it lays nicely up against our lower windshield here. And then we're going to get our clamps started just like we did on the lowers. So again, it will be tight. You will have to squeeze the clamp together pretty tight to get it started. So just get a couple screws started on each side. Once we have our hardware started up top, we're just gonna go ahead and snug it up. I'm just gonna tighten our lowers up now. Now we're gonna grab our M8 nuts out of our kit, grab the strut, lift the windshield up to the open position, line the stud of the strut up into this bracket here. Once the nut is started, what you can do is go ahead and take a 12mm wrench on the strut side and a 13mm socket on the nut side. Then we'll just head over here to the opposite side and repeat the same steps. Now we're gonna grab our handle support, 2 of our M6 Allens, and we're gonna slide them down through our bracket and then through the notch on the windshield. So it should look just like this. Then on the bottom side, we're gonna take our handle and 2 of our M6 nylock nuts, slide the handle up onto the hardware, just like so, and start the nuts onto the hardware, just like this. Do this for both sides. Then we're going to come down here to our lower windshield, and it's going to be exactly the same with our catch. So on the catch, what I like to do is I like to take the hardware and slide it into the notch there for both sides, just like this. Slide it through the notches on the windshield. It'll sit just like that. Then on the bottom, we have a catch support. Catch support's gonna line up with the hardware. Then grab your same M6 nylocks you just previously used. Get that lined up. Get it started onto the threads. So then what I like to do is bring my windshield down and figure out where I need to position everything. So it looks like I'm gonna run this at its lowest position, so I could go ahead and fully tighten this down now at its lowest position. I'll do that. So at the lowest position here, I'm just gonna go ahead and fully tighten this down. Okay. Then we're gonna look at our catch and see what position it needs. So right there looks pretty good. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my 4mm Allen, 10mm socket again, tighten this down. So what you're gonna do is just make sure that you can get the windshield latched. See, this one might need just a little bit more adjustment. You wanna be able to get it to where you pull in and it locks in, but it looks like our catch needs to go forward just a touch. So we're just gonna move it up just a little bit here. That should do it. So as you can see there, we got it adjusted, latches nicely now. So now what you're gonna do is just repeat these exact same steps and adjustments for the opposite side. With these windshields, you may have to move them up and down just a little bit. You know, there's a lot of adjustments on the bracketry and the windshield. So again, every machine's a little different. You may have to adjust it down a little bit, up a little bit. But really what you want to do is just make sure it latches good and make sure it hits this bottom windshield, this lower windshield good, and seals up right. So now what you're going to do is go through, adjust your handle to where it latches correctly. Every machine's going to be a little bit different, so you just have to loosen your hardware up, get it to where it latches nice, to where it seals up good. Once you've done that, that's all there is to it to install SuperATV's flip windshield on this Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT. Be sure to check the description below to pick yours up today. And while you're there, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.